guys, welcome to this Thursday edition of the show where I report on the latest in gaming news. And first off, I just want to thank all my awesome subscribers. Yesterday I managed to hit 350,000 subscribers, so thank you, that's just seriously awesome. Anyway, if you do go on to enjoy today's video, please remember to smack the like button as always. And now let's get to the topic at hand. Microsoft has changed its DRM policy for the Xbox One and the internet is loving it. Many that said they're not going to buy the Xbox One because of its DRM policy are now saying, hey, I might actually buy it. So, what's exactly changed with the new policy? Well, you no longer have to be connected to the internet to play games. That one check-in each 24 hours is now gone. Another big thing a lot of gamers wanted to be able to do is to trade in games, and well, that's now possible too. You'll be able to trade in and purchase used games. Now, I have put a link down below where you guys can check out all of the new changes. I know many of you already know about these changes and just want to know about the pros and cons of the changes, so I'm not going to go into them completely. So yeah, if you don't know about the changes, I have linked the thing down below. Anyway, something I wanted to cover in depth even before this change happened was how the DRM will or won't affect the Xbox One. And now since the DRM policy is gone with the Xbox One, I can tell you guys on the features that you will be missing out on. Because many gamers didn't actually do their research about the Xbox One and all its restrictions. They just saw that the Xbox One couldn't play used games and was always online. Then the amazing Sony came along, did their press conference at E3, and at the end they completely demolished Microsoft. It was actually pretty funny, but it was slightly dirty, but they pretty much won E3 with that. Though that's where many gamers were blinded because they saw that the PlayStation 4 could use used games, but the Xbox One couldn't, and then Sony made a whole funny thing about it, and then yeah, they were blind. So now that the DRM policy has changed on the Xbox One, let me explain everything. Basically, the always online wasn't always online. It was more like when you sign into your Xbox 360, you click the profile, it loads up, and then you'd be online. That's basically what the always online was. It was basically just doing it in the background while you signed in. Additionally, it could do its 24-hour check-in while the Xbox was on standby mode and you wouldn't have to deal with anything. So really, it wasn't you sitting there for 20 minutes waiting for this thing to check if you're online. It was more like when you signed into your profile and it checked in the background for 2 seconds. So in reality, it wasn't going to affect many gamers, especially gamers watching this video. It wasn't going to affect you unless you live in the Gibson Desert or you're working out in the military out in the Middle East. Oh, and just one thing to point out is that you wouldn't need the best internet connection. You just need like 4 kilobytes or something for 2 seconds for it to check. So people like me in Australia that don't have the best internet wouldn't need the best internet for the check-in. Finally, one of the dumbest excuses about always online affecting their gaming experience was people saying, what about when I go on vacation? Really? Vacation? You're on a holiday. Go enjoy the new scenery. Don't sit in your hotel room all day playing your Xbox. That's why you go on vacation, to enjoy the scenery, get some sun for once, and get off your damn Xbox. I'm just messing around, but honestly, that's the truth. Anyway, another feature that won't be on the Xbox One because the policy has changed is the family sharing option. Basically what this was is that you could buy one copy of the game, install it to your hard drive, and then your 10 best friends on Xbox Live, known as your family, could borrow the game. It was just a really forward-thinking idea because people like myself or college students don't live near the friends they grew up with. Like myself, I don't live too close to the friends that live back in the old neighborhood that I'm from, but I still have them on my friends list and I'd like to put them on my family list. So that way they could borrow my games instantly, but now that's not possible. And this is why the DRM policy on the Xbox One was really needed, because that way you and 10 friends that are close by couldn't chip in $10 each or something and then go buy a game and install it each on your hard drive. It needed a way to know that just one person had it and has shared it on their library. Otherwise, then you'd be paying 1/10 of a game or something. So yeah, with this new policy, we miss out on a bunch of cool features that would have just been on the Xbox One and would have been built for the future. But since people don't like change on the internet, and while they're on the internet, they forget about the internet and don't want the internet on their consoles, we can simply forget about the future and forget about the internet in 2013. Forget about the internet in 2013. But anyway, who is to blame for all of this? Well, I think it's two groups of people. On one side, you have Microsoft, who were terrible at explaining what their console does. Their PR team sucked and they really need to hire new people. On the other hand, you have this group of people over here, which are the people on the internet complaining about the internet on their consoles. So you combine the people on the internet with the people at Microsoft and you just get a complete mess. So even though all the gamers on the internet want awesome features for the future, they're not going to get them because they don't want DRM and still want to trade in games. I guess we have to pick one or the other, and as a generation we've picked used games. So yeah, truthfully speaking, as a generation of gamers, we've picked sticking to the past instead of building for the future. Oh, and one final thing I want to mention, which is pretty obvious at this point, is that used games now work for Xbox One. Now, I was never against used games, but I didn't see the problem. Because personally, I don't support used games. I don't buy them, I buy new games. Not because I make that YouTube money or some crap like that, it's because I support the people that make the games and not the people who just sell them. If you think I'm a little crazy right now, stay with me here. A developer makes the game that you enjoy. Then the publisher distributes it. I spend about 100 Australian dollars on a brand new game, and then that money along with the sales numbers go back to the publisher. The publisher then sees that the game is selling well, gets the money from me, then they put that money back into the developer, and then that developer finally makes another game that I'll buy and enjoy again. Here is the thing about buying a used game. You pay maybe $10 less for the game, but the publisher doesn't see any of that money and they don't see the sales numbers, which means that they see it as a failure and they don't pay the developer to make another game, which means you won't get a sequel and you won't enjoy another game. Obviously, this is an extreme, but it's reality. Now, I totally understand that some people can't afford the brand new game, but realistically, it's not that much more expensive and it does a lot more for the gaming industry. So yeah, with all the complaining online about the Xbox One and used games, we're gonna get them, but we're not gonna get anything built for the future. So basically, we've made a decision as a generation. You can be cheap and buy a used game instead of buying a new game, which goes to the publisher, which goes to the developer, and they make games. So if you haven't got it into your head already, we've made a decision as a generation of gamers. We can now be cheap and pay a little less for a game and not support the actual gaming industry. We can also say goodbye to all the new features that are built for the future and just stick to the past. Congratulations, internet. Congratulations. Now, just one final thing before this video ends. I want to mention something that Microsoft should maybe adopt. I'm not sure if it's possible, but it would be a pretty damn cool idea. For people like myself, or people watching this video that have an internet connection, maybe allow us to opt in for the 24-hour check-in so we can get those awesome features. Because I have an internet connection. You watching this video, you have an internet connection. It may not be the best, just like mine isn't the best, but it is an internet connection. So that means you have the internet to be able to check in every 24 hours and you can get those awesome features, but now it's all gone. So even though I doubt Microsoft is watching this, if anyone is watching this from Microsoft, please maybe adopt that idea just for the people that want those extra features. I doubt it's gonna happen, but it would be pretty cool. Because as a gamer, I want to see gaming go to another level we haven't seen before. And another thing, I want to clarify that I'm not an Xbox fanboy. I'm getting both the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. I'm just a gamer that wants to see gaming go somewhere we haven't seen it go before. So many people on the internet seem to have a problem with the internet, and I just don't understand it. Who cares about these restrictions that aren't really restrictions? Think about the future, people. Focus on the future while catering for the now. People want changes. People want innovation. We don't want the same damn thing over and over again with just upgraded graphics. And we would have had all this if the DRM policy was still in place, but people on the internet didn't want to do their research and just complained. Thanks for watching this video. Hopefully you guys understand.